Despite an agreement, a 5-point agreement reached between the foreign ministers of India and China, the road to peace is still heavily mined. There is still no guarantee that everything will play out as per the script reached out between the two foreign ministers in Moscow. Let me explain. I am Rajeev Sharma. China is known to be indulging in shoot and scoot strategy. They will say something, do something else. This is what they have been doing. And the present standoff in eastern Ladakh is a testimony to Chinese tactics, which are very well known now. Now, China is looking at India through the prism of 1962 war, where it decidedly had an upper hand. China refuses to realize that the situation, whatever the situation that obtained 58 years ago, is no longer applicable with regard to India. And President Xi believes that by cowing down India, he can bolster his own sagging popularity at home. American magazine Newsweek has come up with an opinion piece where it has clearly stated that Chinese ploy, Chinese policies, Chinese aggressiveness has completely flopped in Eastern Ladakh with India. And no, it was not written by an Indian. This opinion piece was not written by an Indian. Now, China refuses to believe that this is the India of 2020. Forget who is the Prime Minister, which political party is the ruling party. Forget about that. It cuts across party lines. The entire nation will be one if China declares war or a limited war, another limited war. Now, let me just tell you folks that the projection of the experts is that even if a localized conflict on a bigger scale were to erupt in Eastern Ladakh at the behest of China, in the first 25 minutes or half an hour alone, it will cause so many casualties which were not caused in the entire 1962 war. Now, Xi Jinping also must realize that by deploying tanks, by taking them on strategic heights in the finger area, it is no insurance against military reversals, because tanks will be virtually toys in modern warfare. The actual warfare will be done by bigger weapons, by fighter aircraft, by missiles, where tanks will be sitting duck targets. At best, tanks can strike a gnaw in the enemy's heart and play mind games. But this is India 2020, as I said. India is not cowed down. Indian military is not cowed down by such tactics. These are the tactics whose shelf life has long expired. Now, last point before I conclude this video. China must realize that, as I have been saying repeatedly in my previous video tutorials, that China has already, this China's provocation, China's military tactics, military aggression in eastern Ladakh has already costed dear diplomatically. China has virtually lost USA. Now China is also fast losing Europe. Now after UK and France, even Germany has dropped indications that they are finding ways and means of reducing their dependence on Chinese imports, and they are looking at various options including India and Australia. And Australia itself is looking at minimizing its dependence on China. So is New Zealand, so is Canada. So the cost cannot be measured, the cost of a misadventure of China cannot be measured only in terms of military costs. The costs are huge, the costs are political, the costs are diplomatic, the costs are economic. And we do not know as of now whether China, to what extent China has been hit in terms of costs because of its recent misadventures, whether vis-a-vis China, vis-a-vis India, vis-a-vis Bhutan, in South China Sea, vis-a-vis Southeast Asian powers, vis-a-vis Japan. We do not know. Now, if we will get to know, probably in a few months or so, these things cannot remain hidden. The costs will run into trillions of dollars for China. And before I conclude this video editorial, now very last point, coming back to the Newsweek opinion piece, Newsweek has said that Xi Jinping is so deeply upset that a purge of the People's Liberation Army, PLA, and the purge within the Chinese Communist Party, it is very much on the anvil. Now, if that were to happen, that will be a big thing, and that will be the biggest and the gravest political cost, not just for China per se, generally, at large, but also for the main architect of Eastern Ladakh standoff, that is Xi Jinping. So friends, I conclude my video here. I hope you like this and subscribe to my channel, Rajeev Kishkindha. Thank you.